you've made that one yet, but that is...
No, I haven't.
My son drinks that by the gallon. It is so great, and you wilt basil in there, and it's an all-season soup. You can have it in the summer with my tarragon chicken salad, or you can have it in the winter with my wild salmon in parchment paper or my chicken paella. I mean, you can pair it with almost anything. And then you've got my harvest root vegetables, which is just yummy.
That's wonderful.
Gotta feel good, comfort food, so good. And then my roasted beets with arugula and goat cheese and balsamic vinaigrette reduction sauce. So lots of root vegetables, and I throw them in my soups. In my garden green soup, we've got the sweet potatoes and the carrots. But the root vegetables are so comforting. They ground us.
Right.
Those wonderful nutrients.
And in addition to the root vegetables, we're walking into a season of making soups. Like you were just saying, one of the soups I'm going to be trying is that one. And, in Florida, it takes a little bit longer than you guys up north where we actually want to make soup. Soups are a great way. You were talking about juicing. You were talking about getting your vegetables in. You were talking, soup is an excellent, easy way, even in making vegetable stock within the soup, to incorporate the nutrients that you really benefit from within the vegetables. Let's talk about one of your soup recipes that you like.
Okay. Well, again, back to my garden green soup because it is such a fan favorite.
Yes.
The reason I love soup so much is that it's a one-pot meal, a one-dish meal. You can put anything and everything in the soup. And the reason I like my garden green soup so much is that you start with a basic stock, and it's water. But then you throw in the collards, and you throw in the broccoli and the parsley and the sweet potatoes and the onions and the oregano, and then you have that basic stock of green soup, which on its own is a yummy, yummy thing. And for my clients with neurological disorders and especially MS, this is such a liver purifier. It is incredible. But then what you can do is you can add grains, and you can add beans, and you can add animal stock and actually chicken or pasture-fed beef to it. So you can't go wrong with soup. And I have a whole chapter in my book called Soulful Soups and Broths, and it's a building thing. And if you don't know how to cook, soup is your best entree into the kitchen because you can't make a mistake. All you do is you keep adding ingredients till it's good, it's flavorful for you. Again, starting with basic stock, my Asian chicken noodle soup, which is made with brown rice noodles. It's got the wilted cilantro in there and the fresh lime juice that I use. But you can take that soup and then make what I call my convertible dishes. So from when you're making that Asian chicken noodle soup, you put in extra chicken breasts, and then from that you can make either my tarragon chicken salad or my barbecue chicken salad, or you can make wraps and burritos with that extra chicken breast that you can shred or put on top of salads or put in a burrito, put in a wrap, put in a quesadilla, put in a bean and cheese enchilada. So I'm all about efficiency. Let's make 2 meals out of one. And with soups, you can do that because if you want to do a base broth soup, you can take that extra beef and shred it, and you can have what I call my Cuban ropa vieja. You can have sloppy joes. You can make carnitas out of them with a little few simple ingredients. So soups are great because it's very efficient. You don't have to watch over it. You can build it up as much as you want. You can make it as simple as you want. And it allows for an incredible abundance of all of those good things that we need, the fiber, the protein, the antioxidants, the chlorophyll, the great essential fatty acids, because even the beans sometimes will have that. So and you can add, what you can do is sometimes I'll even top my soup. If it's a creamy soup, I'll put pumpkin seed in there. If I'm doing a squash soup, for example, this is not in my recipe book, but I made a soup this week. It was carrot, sweet potato, and squash. And I pureed it, and it's this velvety soup, and I just dollop little pumpkin seeds on top of it, or sesame seeds.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. That's the beauty of this recipe book, because you have I love to cook, and your recipes speak to me on so many different levels. You have such a variety of flavor, and you have ethnic tastes in here, and you have it's not just one, it's not just all Asian or it's all Italian, or you've got a nice mix. And one of my favorites is the arugula salad with roasted beets.
Mm-hmm. I love that one.
Isn't that like such an energy booster? I mean, that to me, I don't know. It's almost like taking a shot of B12. It just
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And the foods, there's something called the doctrine of signatures, which means that nature was just brilliant. And so foods mimic what our body needs, and beets, being blood red, what are they? They're incredible blood purifiers. They are energy boosters. And what do we need to make those red blood cells? B12, right? So beets are amazing. And just like the walnut looks just like a brain. Latest studies show walnuts are the most brain-healthy nut available, or food available.
Isn't that interesting? That's
so
just
we look
amazing.
to, what does a sweet potato look like? It looks like our pancreas. What does that do? It balances blood sugar levels. So you eat sweet potatoes for blood sugar level stabilization. So another thing is in getting back to nature is, what does that food look like? Tomato looks like a heart, the 4 chambers of the heart, tremendously high in lycopene. What does the heart love? It loves lycopene. So you're absolutely right. You are energized by those beets because it is a blood enricher. And then pairing it with arugula, which gives you the chlorophyll, it's like, wow, I've got this double benefit.
And arugula is one of those tastes that you may have to build a love for, or because it's got a little bit of a sharp, peppery kind of taste. But
it does. Go ahead.
I just find myself craving it sometimes, and it really amazes me because it is such a strong flavored taste to crave.
All of the arugula is in the cruciferous vegetable family, which is in the cabbage and the broccoli and the collards and the bok choy. And the reason why is they're really high in sulfur, and that gives you that bite. But the reason why a lot of women crave it is that the cruciferous vegetables have a compound called indole 3-carbinol, and that is a tremendous estrogen metabolizer. And a lot of women, believe it or not, are estrogen dominant, and in part it's because soy is the number 2 crop grown in the U.S. behind corn, and so we are over-soyed. And I talk about that in my book. I'm not against soy, but I think we need to be aware of the amount of soy we're taking in because it's hidden. They're in fillers. It's in protein shakes. It's everywhere. And so that indole 3-carbinol really helps metabolize the estrogen. Plus, definitive research has shown that the indole 3-carbinol fights cancer. In particular, prostate cancer. There was a study that came out of Wayne State University that says definitively it arrests prostate cancer cell growth, and it's also very protective for breasts.
That's incredible, and it's these are things that we can do today. We can start increasing our healthy vitamins and nutrients that we're taking in our foods, and we can also start learning to also be a little bit more responsible and taking some proactive approach in learning to cook for ourselves. Because I tell you, there's nothing better than fresh food that's coming right from your kitchen that sure, everyone likes to be waited on, but that's really where all our fat and our waste is coming from is all these convenience foods. And we really have to take a conscious effort in learning how to eat to live for longevity, not to eat for the taste of the moment.
Absolutely, and honestly, and I really go out there and reach to your audience saying you can have both. You can have great food that's great tasting, and mindful awareness, and there's a whole chapter in my book about intentional eating and the fact that we are all connected, and then there's an energetic connection with the food that we take in. And when we are preparing food in a joyful and an intentional way, there is an energetic exchange that occurs between ourselves and the food. And so therefore the food is the beneficiary of that beautiful energy, and it's a joyful thing. And I'm like most women in the United States that we're working parents. Our time is limited. We are tired at the end of the day. But what I say to you all is, if you can plan it, you can do it, and that's 90% of it. So, for example, yesterday I had a 12-hour day, and which ended in an evening listening to Michael Pollan, and so I knew that I wouldn't be able to have time to make a meal for my children. But what I did in the morning is I made my red beans and rice, or the red beans, which is so simple. And I speak a lot about a pressure cooker in my book, and the reason I love it is that you can just go get in the morning, put 3 ingredients in a pressure cooker: beans, salt, a little garlic. I actually added a green pepper. Close it up, go get ready for the morning. When you come down, the beans are made, and then in the evening, the kids are, if they're old enough to warm them up, they can warm them up for themselves. I have a rice cooker, so all you have to do is put 2 ingredients in the rice and press down the little button. The rice cooks itself. So there are ways around it, and then we paired that with the salad with avocado because we love avocado. We have avocado almost daily. It's a tremendous monounsaturated fat, great for skin and hair, tremendous in the oils. So very, very good for our skin, and it's an estrogen metabolizer. So if you can plan it, we can do it. And thinking about the fact that if I'm going to go out and carry out some food, I'm creating a carbon footprint, not only by the gas that I'm spending in the amount of, the time it takes me to get to and fro, but how the food is packaged. Where is that going to? Very, very small amounts of these containers can be recycled. And so we really are adding to a carbon footprint, which is leaving, not what we want for our children to have to clean up in their generation as they grow up. And it can be really fun. My barbecue chicken sandwiches, you can make those in 15 minutes. You boil the chicken, you shred the chicken, and you've got we use whole grain buns. Those are my Friday night football game meals. We pair it with a salad, we're done. And I can do it in the morning. The chicken boils itself.
And your recipes they're kid-friendly. I mean, it's something that, if they haven't been living on McDonald's for 10 or 15 years, then there's going to be a little bit less resistance. But, yeah, I mean, mine have loved these recipes. So a lot of your Asian, the stir-fry, and all of these. So it's been something that we're integrating more of, and I'm not seeing the resistance with the kids. What I love about your book is that you're giving really easy ingredients and ways to prepare the food that's going to change and make a difference in your body, in how you feel, in your health, in your blood pressure, in your cholesterol. It's a matter of commitment. And we have about 2 minutes left. I want to make sure our listeners go to your website at www.healingpathsva.com. And you also have this book, Restorative Recipes, at Amazon. Is that right, Terry?
Not yet at Amazon, but I do have it through my website, so you can just get it through my website.
Okay, so Restorative Recipes, A Mindful Path to the Essential You, and it's a beautifully packaged. This would also make a great gift. We're coming up on holiday season, but this is something that I can see a lot of people benefiting and needing from, because you have these incredibly beautiful pictures of the food and the recipe on the back side, as well as what the recipe is good for. And it's in this beautifully done binder, like what would you call that? It's gathered, and it has incredible mesh bag that it comes with. It's really a beautiful package, Terry. You've really, really done an incredible job, and you've been what a brilliant, informative guest. Thank you so much. You've just been phenomenal. This has been an incredibly enlightening show for me, because I've just been absorbing everything that's been coming out of your wise soul and mouth, because you've got it going on here.
So much. Well, it's my passion, so I feel like
it is. You can tell it's your passion, Terry. You are on purpose. You are on soul path here, and I wish you nothing but tremendous success with this. Everyone needs to buy this recipe.